into the show
that informs, improves, and inspires racers everywhere.
The Northwest Race Report. The Northwest Race Report is brought to you by O'Hagan's Kart Supply, Lebanon, Oregon. You want to win? O'Hagan's wants to help. And by TrueTech Automotive, Hazeldale, Washington. Get your car, truck, or tow rig repaired the right way, the TrueTech way. And by Scott Seal Coat and Striping, Federal Way. For over 25 years, whether you're sealing or striping, you can count on Scott. And by Southern Oregon's karting headquarters, Speed City LLC, keeping racers on track with quality support and friendship. You're tuned in to the Northwest Race Report exclusively at terrybridges.com. And now back to your horsepower and performance hosts, Terry Bridges and Glenn Lippy Tower. Oh, thank you. Are we there now? My bad. God, I always do that. That's why I need a producer. So we'll try this again. Eric Stansberry and Jared Storer are going to be our guests tonight. Going to be a great show. Can't wait to talk to those guys. Storer will be on at the 7 o'clock hour, and Stansberry will be in about 7:15. What did somebody put in some comment? And here we go.
The sound died as soon as you mentioned Lippy.
Yeah. Oh, the sound died as soon as I meant. Oh, sorry. Well, Lippy's not going to be with us. He's got 2 bathrooms tore up. But how about those notes from the safety meeting at Spokane? You know, I didn't hear about those, but says Sean Carr. But I'm just going to say, it's just good to be me. I talked to Diotti. I don't know if anybody heard that part of it, but I talked to him today, and he said, man, it is so good to be me. I love it. I don't know what I've done to deserve all this good luck, but it's good to be me. And, you know, and I just took that, and I said, it's good to be me, too. Isn't it? It's good to...
hey.
You know, that's the way we got to be thinking now.
I'm upright. I'm breathing.
Yeah.
I had a fantastic Saturday night down at watching the midgets.
Yeah, I got a story for you on that too when I talk to Biles. Wait till you hear this.
And and then all of a sudden, wandering through the pits, it's the whole Clark family. I said, I thought you were supposed to be down south. Well, it rained out, so they went to Camp 18 for breakfast or for brunch. Hey, let's go. Let's go to Elma. So they weaved up the back roads and showed up at the track.
Don't you love that?
Oh, it was great.
Don't you love that? I mean, that's what it's all about. Oh, man. Mike Michelson, Double M checking in, and his dad, Jim Michelson. I'm going to tell you what. I went to I'm just going to tell you really quick because we do have a lot of results. But I went to one of Double M's soccer games, and I got a chance to sit with Mr. Michelson and his beautiful wife. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Michelson's a cool cat. He can hang out at my shop anytime he wants. I mean, he is just so cool. He's got so many memories. He's got so much knowledge of the sport. I mean, he's just
It's like
he's just an awesome guy.
that was like the other day when I got to hang out with Phil.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, it's just cool to listen to their knowledge and all their history.
We
and
should
stuff.
be writing or recording all this stuff, and for later on that we can pass it on.
Well, we're going to have to. But we're going to get Double M and his dad up here on the show. Even if his dad's kicking and screaming, I told Mike, you got to grab him by the hair and just bring him up here. So that'll be cool. That'll be a great show. We'll just sit and talk history with the legendary Jim Michelson. That'll be awesome. So go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I would just want to tell Ronnie I'd like some teriyaki chicken. He's standing in line.
I'm standing in line at teriyaki joint. Anybody want anything? Yeah, I do, Ronnie. I want you to hold that and put that on speaker while we're talking, and have him put it on the mic in the restaurant. And then when it's there, let me know, and I'll say, "Hey, big shout out! What's the name of the joint?" I'll give them a shout out and whatever. Hey, I met a guy today. Really quick too. I was at. I went with my wife to go for a walk. She's killing it. She lost another 2 pounds. Yes, I'm stoked for her. But I met a guy who had an AFCS shirt on with a sprint car thing on it. We're in the grocery store, and I said, "Hey, did you go to that?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Yeah, I've been a season ticket holder for years. Haven't been this year because I've had some problems with my lungs, and that dirt is kind of hard on him." But his name was Mr. Harvey. So I told him to check into the show. His name was Bob Harvey. And he was just a neat old chap, and it was cool talking to him, and I was blessed to have him there and run into him at the grocery store, and of course I talk to everybody. And then there were some people I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And they look at you like, I mean, is hi or how are you or something like that, is that like rare when you're in the grocery, people you meet and see? I mean, is it rare? Because people look at you like you're, huh?
Yeah.
What are you?
Like your marbles all?
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Your marbles all in one bag?
Yeah, I mean, you're just saying hi, and they look at you like, "Oh my God,
what do I say?"
Or, "Jesus, a big old black guy talking to me. You gonna hurt me?" Of course not.
Yeah. Give me all your money.
Right now, get on the floor. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have a cool show for you tonight. Can't wait to talk to ES7, Jared Storer, first and fourth in the Spokane event, which is super exciting. So we better get into it because we got 20 minutes to get through it, and I know the loader's always got tons of stuff. But as always, I hope you saw my post today. I finally took a picture of the C banner, sent it to Chris C, said, "Hey, we finally got it up," and it had the reflection of the studio in there. It's kind of a cool shot. It was just almost looked just like that. Boom. And that was cool. And he called me. I got to get back to him tonight. But we got all kinds of great news coming up for next week, and we got a heck of a show for you. I'm just so stoked. But tonight's Winter Circle Wednesday, as always, brought to you by the good folks at C High Performance. And so let's. What do you say? Should we get with it?
Get it on.
Let's do it. If you're serious about racing, you're constantly looking for an edge. A tenth here, a pound there. It's a nonstop pursuit to find a quicker way around the racetrack. C High Performance believes to beat the racetrack, you must become the racetrack. And that is the thought process behind all of their innovative speed products. From their line of Superfly bodies and wings to the latest dual-disc center vane Super Brake, it's all about finding a quicker way around the racetrack. With 45 years of innovation, C High Performance is dedicated to helping racers of all skill levels find an edge. Whether it's horsepower tuning, chassis dialing, or tire science, it's their commitment to innovation that sets them apart from the rest. Innovation is not what is, it's always been about what can be. So be all you can be with the integrity, innovation, and inspiration of C High Performance. Shop online 24/7 at chighperformance.com. Well, what do we start with? Do we start with the Spokane event? We might as well. Quarter Point and Northwest UAS Regional. Now, we know Spokane had some issues last time, right, with the time thing. I think it maybe continued a little bit. If you were there, chime in. Be nice to hear. Ronnie was there. I don't know what time things got started. But nonetheless, there was like 10 or 12. Let's see. Looks like we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 11 UAS guys show up for that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I know some people say 11. Jeez, that's not. Man, that's huge.
Well, on a kart track, it's huge.
That's really huge. And it was ES7 taking the win. I mean, he looked like he was the guy. Ronnie Cox was second. Third was, get this, I love this. I came up with a new one for Tim Lawrence. Titan Tim Lawrence. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, it's going to be some epic battles. The Titan and ES7 versus the Rocket and the Hitman. And, it's Smoking Stephen Chase. That's going to be awesome. That's going to make for some really cool stories. But Ronnie Cox was second. Tim Lawrence third. Jared Storer. There's a guy that I am going to say, let's see here. Judging by the name on my bottle of Coke, I got my food pretty fast. Oh, up?
Yeah, Ronnie said it started at 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m.
So what you're saying, Rocket, became a 2-day race then?
Oh, Justin Beard, what's going on, baby? Good to see you. Love you, Lori Fuller. Thanks for checking in. Enjoy your workout. Much love to you. So Storer was fourth. He is underrated. Jared Storer is, I believe. But we'll get into that tonight when we get to talk to him here in about 15, 20 minutes. Joe Stackman, the Iron Man, was fifth. Did he have his new piece out? I'm not sure. Kevin White, sixth. How about Whitey?
That's
the old Stephen Chase machine. Yeah. He was sixth. Seventh goes to Kevin Bridges. Eighth goes to Anna Singleton. Ninth, Cully. 10th, Williamson. And 11th goes to Steve King. Brian Williamson says, my bro got taken out in turn one. Did he get taken out or did an altercation happen? I don't know. Either way, that's a tough break for Williamson.
Yeah,
it is tough. You hate to see that out of anybody, but
especially first lap. But,
yeah, that is.
Give me a chance. Let me run.
Right. Well, but you know what the book Driving in the Rain says? Is that even when you're in an altercation, even if it's really not your fault, you're still at fault because you put yourself in that position to get taken out. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's a tough one. But keeping it on the positive side, that is a bummer for Williamson. But that's how it rolls.
Wait, I noticed they were talking about where did the no restart rule?
Well, and when they say restart, I think that is a restart, like if you die, yeah. Right? I'm. That's a great question. I don't know. Karting's the only sport in the world that if you have problems, you can't come out and finish. Once you're done, you're done. I never have like that rule. I think even if you want to come out, hey, what if somebody else breaks and you could come out and make a couple more laps and you get a 9th instead of a 10th or, whatever. I just think once you get back to the pits, you shouldn't be all done. You should be able to. You can get it going again. Now, it shouldn't wait, right? But
yeah,
I don't know.
I seen that, and I've been going to ask somebody, and
yeah, and that's just something to show. It makes like they said, if you're involved in an accident, everybody that's involved goes to the back. Doesn't really matter because they don't have time to sort it all out and give this guy a spot back and do all that. Scores are
there's 4 carts sitting there. Sorry, you guys are in the back.
You're all going back. Yeah, right. It sucks for the guys that may have spun to avoid it or do whatever. But like one year I think in the BK, Stansbury went to avoid a wreck and killed his car, and he was out. But he really wasn't in the wreck. He was just trying to avoid it, and he killed it looping it out. So, in that kind of case, that's where that rule is kind of a tough rule.
Well, that's like down with these races down here at the harbor or up at Skagit. You get, like, say in the heat races, you spin once, you're done.
Right.
Main event, you get to spin twice and you're done. So
right.
That's just
that is right? 2 cautions
Yeah,
and you're
out.
right. And that was the same at Lebanon too. And I think they had the 8/10 breakout rule, right? If you're 8/10 quicker than you qualified.
Well, that was for all you sandbaggers.
Yeah, who was that? Who was the dude in the Nova?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4-wheel drive Nova. Man, he was good. But more around the UAS of A. Brett Messler, Paradise Speedway, Geneva, New York, a winner. Bobby White, Capital City Speedway, Virginia, a winner. And Dan Burkett, Noggle Speedway, Keystone UAS. I'm wondering where the Keystone UAS is. If anybody knows, shout me out that. I don't know if that's in Pennsylvania or if that's in Kansas, the Keystone. I want to say it's more East Coast, like Pennsylvania or somewhere like that. But just a few of the winners from around the UAS of A. Huh?
The Assassin's on.
No way. Passanante's on here?
Passanante.
Oh, man. Pennsylvania. Big shout out to Chris Passanante, the Italian assassin. You know, he ran top 3 in the road race deal last week. He was fast. He and Humbo and Markham ended up winning one of them. So that's a smoking deal. They're gearing up for the Grands. That's going to be a heck of a show. Northwest Kart Dates 206 West Series. Big shout out, by the way, to Derek Biddle for tagging us in all these, so we get all the good posts. I wish everybody would do that. That's pretty handy.
Yep, I appreciate it.
Tag Senior went to Alex Westland, Jeff Westland second, Chris Sod third. Good turnout good showing for Chris Sod. Glad to see him back at it. Tag Masters went to Wade Jansen and Gary Rail. Junior 1 206 went to Jacob Rinka, Hunter Hesseltine, and Layla Cody was third, or Code. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. Junior 2 206 went to Garrett Hessel, Cole Faker, Jake Sessler. Look at this. 206 senior, Billy Weber wins it. Jacques Records, second. Brent McCullough, your current point leader, third. Looked like World Formula Senior went to Doug Hugler. Mark Snell, Dave Carson. Rotax Jr. went to Drew Wagner. Gabe Nito. Glad to see Gabe moving around a little bit. Shifters went to Jeff Westland, Mateo De Leon, and Alex Westland. That was your Northwest 206 West Series. Big event coming up at TC Casey this weekend. The East Series having their next round of the series there. Oregon State Karting Championship Series night race at Pat's Acres. Always nice. If you've never been to Pat's Acres, your karting career or your karting experience is not complete until you've been there. It is one of the finest facilities in the Northwest and in the country, guaranteed. Briggs Heavy went to Tim McKinney. I am so glad to see McKinney get the win, and he wins it. And he's been running a kind of a back and forth, on and off, when he can. He's got 2 kids now, and so that's kind of kept him down. But he comes out and wins it. He beats Brian Green and Sean Keys. Senior 206 went to Dalton Ager. Kyle Dupel, a big player in the SCUSA stuff. He was second. Brady Ager, Brittany Zamora's boyfriend, third. Shifter Tyler Shepard. Here's a name I haven't seen. Shepard wins it. Tyler Shepard's becoming a real wheel. But here's a guy that I remember. Super nice guy. You didn't see him much, and he's been out for quite a while, but good to see him back. Jamie Elmer. Man, what a good guy, and it's glad to see him back. Jonathan Brown, the do boy, in his shifter from eShifter.com, was third. Junior 206 went to Josh Pearson. Caleb Schrader and Thomas Olson were your top 3. Graham Trammell, Parker Selner, and Mason Smark, third in Junior 1 206. Boy, Smark is just getting it done. He was third. Graham Trammell, I don't know if you remember him. He started out in the indoor, and he did a really good job on the dirt. SUMAS, SEMA, and that stands for SUMAS International Motorsports Academy. That's up in Sumas, Washington, right there by the border. Have you been to that track yet?
I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it, and the improvements they're doing. It's impressive.
We need to go up there, and you can check it out. That'd be a fun trip. Junior 2 206 went to Ellie Musgrave. Junior 1 206 went to Cam Blakesley. Samuel Barrera Garcia was second. I had to get that in. Kevin Bridges, that's for you. And Ryan Fernandez, too. Cole Connor, third. Kevin Janders wins Senior 4. Hottest driver going right now. One of the hottest drivers in the country, I think. Ken Porter second. Matt Chambers third. Tag Masters went to Gary Ochi, Tom Madden, Paul Sager. Junior 1 tag went to Kieran Hartley. Massimo Valiente was second. And Brendan Lee third. Rookie Junior went to Dante Batag... Let's see if I can get this one. Dante Battagliaria. Mason Chambers, Carter McGregor. Those are your top 3 in Rookie Junior 1. Tag Junior 2 went to Gabe Battenshone, Evan Arnold, Katie Musgrave. Tag Junior 3 went to Ellie Musgrave. Second was, try it, Samuel Barrera Garcia.
No.
Mario Gill was third. Tag Senior went to Kevin Janders. Adam Istman, Andrew Byrne. Shifters went to Kevin Janders. Jamie McAllister, Adam Istman. And Sportsman Shifter went to Mike Adams and Jake Mann. Let's see here. So we went over the Spokane UAS. That's awesome. Evergreen, reunion night. Go ahead.
They said that the junior UAS was a quarter point, too.
It was. And Daniel Watkins won that.
That's the reason he must have told me that.
That's it. Daniel Watkins the third. DW3 wins that bad boy. That's awesome. And it's cool to see that catch on.
Yeah, well, it still comes back to the same thing. Where's your next one's coming from? It's got to come from somewhere.
And you've been saying that since you started on this show. That's
my beliefs. I don't like with NHRA, their junior dragster program. Look at that. I mean, it's huge, and that's the next step.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You know, I like it.
I know. I do too. I love it.
It's like the quarter midgets and all of that.
It is. It's all important. I mean, we need to support it all. Evergreen Driver Reunion Night. Oh, baby. I'm excited about this. Mini Stocks went to Lane Sundholm, Nat Barber, and Gary Hannawalt. Outlaw Figure Eights, Chris Curtis, Seth Funden, John Carlson. But get this. Can anybody beat my boy Cody Hoops in Stinger 8s? He wins another one.
Evidently not.
No. I'm here to say nobody can beat my boy Cody Hoops in the Stinger 8s. Dude is owning it. I love it. Dawson Cox was second. Zach Bristol third. And I'm going to say it again. Nobody can beat my boy Cody Hoops in Stinger 8s. Stock Figure 8s. Quentin Borson, Steve Cox, Steve Peters. Street Stock Maine goes to Dwayne Schosbeck, Steve Woods, Mike Marthaler. Late models, Jeff Knight, Trenton Moriarty, and Dan Moore. The Youth Hornets went to Tyson Lang, Andrew Reinders, and Cassidy Sundholm. Dirt, Western Grands for the quarter midgets on the dirt. July 12th through the 15th, Grays Harbor County Fairgrounds. i5qmc.com for more information.
It'll be a big one, too.
Right. I've just got the nod. I will be doing the Western Asphalt Grands up in Monroe.
Woohoo!
Marilyn Loftus, they're excited. I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. That'll be July 24th through the 29th. So we'll be bringing you the action the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll start with the heat races. They'll have J mains, top 4 move. I think there 1 year we had I main events.
Crazy.
Right. I mean, HIJK, yeah, it was like I or K mains, and 4 moved up, and it took like 3 days to get through. I mean, it was crazy. It was like 480, almost 500 cars. It was absolutely insane, but it was super cool. That's what's going on there. Big TCKC East 206 shootout series event coming up this weekend there. What you got?
I don't really have a whole bunch, to be honest with you.
Grays Harbor.
Deming rained out. Willamette rained out.
And how does Grays Harbor get in when it's raining?
Well, it was
It was iffy.
Yeah, it rained about 3 o'clock, and we were all standing in line, and I says, see you guys later. Let me know what happens. I went down to the bowling alley and had myself a hamburger and watched TV till it quit raining.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, you know, Biles, I talked to him today. He sends me a message. He says, I was looking all over for my brother from another mother, and all I saw was the loader.
Oh, that's... Yeah, loader was there.
The loader was there. How'd you guys do?
I talked around. I mean, was
your driver there?
No.
Oh, he wasn't.
No,
Okay.
he was in Spokane at a class. So let's start with Skagit.
Yeah, let's do that.
360s went to Colton Heath.
Stud.
JJ Hickle.
Wait a minute. So Heath wasn't running the Ford Focus series?
No,
race?
that was just it's an off and on thing with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his main deal is his 360 sprint car. JJ Hickle, which is a teammate with one time on that extra deal.
Sweet.
He was second, and Robbie Price out of Canada was third. Sportsman sprints went to Kelsey Carpenter.
What?
Yeah, what?
Can anybody beat Kelsey Carpenter?
Michael Hundell and Trevor Cook, they had horrendous wreck. In fact, is Kelsey Carpenter's car owner, Bill Rude, got on the backstretch. It looked like him and another car got together, and it literally knocked the front axle out from underneath it. It tore the car up. It looked bad. Shane showed me the picture, and then I seen some more on the Facebook, and then
where did one time end up finishing?
One time, I can't tell that because we're not in Grays Harbor yet.
Oh, that's right. You can't. Sorry.
I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah, you can't.
And then Miss Bailey Jean, she must have crashed because she brought out a red. So
yeah, and somebody said her toes were just fine or something. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I didn't get it. They didn't say much about that. So and the modifieds went to Lawrence O'Connor again.
What's that? 2 in a row?
2 in a row. Adam Holthop and Kevin Smith. Tuners, Vance Hibbard, Brian Mickelson, and Danon Asadou, whatever. Wingless at Grays Harbor, Rob Lindsay. I think he wanted here a couple. Oh, my God. I felt so sorry for Jorgensen. Jorgensen's got this race won. Lap 23. Goes through 3 and 4 and loops it.
No.
And he's on his own.
Wow.
So I felt sorry for him. He did. Tim Albrighting was second, and Jake Gillum was third. Ford Focus Midgets.
Yes.
Tristan Thomas.
Wow. Stud.
Garrett Thomas.
Garrett Thomas was second?
Second, and one time was third.
Dude, I'm telling you.
He's been in that top.
One time can wheel, man.
It's just like I told. I went up to afterwards there, and I was talking with Carla, and I says, you guys have done so much for this. Because I said, I can remember when they said the midgets were on the track, I could care less. I'd walk away. You guys have brought this to where it's racing now.
Yeah, Carla and Galen Stewart.
It has. And you can ask anybody in the stands. There was a couple years where you only had 3 or 4 cars, whatever, and that was Fred trying to build it up and all this stuff. But even once there started to be a few more cars, it was like watching paint dry. These guys now, they're working on their cars, they're getting their handling, they're doing the things they got to do, and they're making that extra difference. And it's a race now. I mean, I made a beeline for the fence. It was a great race.
That's so good to hear. It really is good to hear.
And then modifieds, they had enough of them. They had a bunch of the guys from down south decided that, we're not racing, so we're headed for the harbor. We had Kenny Miller, Superman.
Oh, Weinbarger.
Gray Ferrando, Suckow, and God, what am I going to say? There was 2 more that showed up. So we had 24, 25 cars so they had a B main. Scott Miller won the B main. Austin Kerrigan was second. Jason Toll was third. Jason's kind of an interesting thing. A guy bought him a modified, but he's in the kind of the points lead for the street stock, so he only runs the modified when he can.
Well, who's the guy that runs the Bud car? That is.
You
knew I'd ask you that.
Roger Wilder's car.
He's been winning. He's won.
Oh, he's won championship after championship. They make a living in that class. So.
Yeah, I know. I've got the coughs too. I've been trying to shake this dang cold. Been kind of, not full blown, but just where you don't feel super good. So excuse me for the coughs.
And then in the A main, Superman he took the money home. Gray Ferrando was second, and Tom Sweatman was third.
Sweatman.
That was so funny. Tom, he was determined. He wasn't getting off that bottom, and there it goes. Calling on the high side, and it's bye-bye. I mean, he was 2 grooves higher than everybody else.
What do we say? When somebody's on the bottom,
go to the high side.
And it works.
And the tuners, Tyler Sundum, Joseph Palmer, and Dale Spears. Like I said, it was a great. I got to see it. I talked with Shane. Sat down with one time there a little bit. We
cool
had a little, and then Renee and Biles. We had sat around with them in their trailer and talked with them, and it was. And then some of the guys that had come up from down south. It was good to catch up with them and see what's all been going on.
Yeah, it is. It is good. It's always fun to go.
Poor John Campbell. I mean, his stuff's been. He had a brand new wrap on.
Was this Campbell's?
No, Campbell.
Oh, Campbell. Okay.
He's brand new wrap on. Goes to the first race at Banks, and the car goes in the trailer sideways. There's nothing left of the car. Every piece of tin work's beat up on it. So he's had to completely rebuild it. He said it was so fun just to come to a race and put it in the trailer, and it rolled.
Right.
Bummer. His wife, significant other, is Nikki, the one that runs Banks. So
she does a nice job.
Yes, she does. Had good conversation with her and
nice
tell her what we were doing with it. He says we're a long ways away, but we're still promoting it. And she just says, I appreciate everything you guys do.
That's awesome. That is what we try to do. I love the fact that people are now tagging us in the posts. What about Mike Hunt? Sean Carr? Oh, yeah. Somebody said a guy named Jason Campbell. He is the what do they call those guys they're in a car museum and they're the lead guys that walk around it. There's a name for those guys. I don't know, they're like an arbitrator, or they're not an arbitrator, but it's something like that. They're like the caretaker of the thing. They know all the info and all this stuff. He said that he met, who was the F1 guy? Hunt. First name? Remember, famous guy. Help me out here. Haha, he said it. Yeah, I know. We're in 3rd grade, right? And there's Lippy filling in, adding fuel to the fire. LOL. Who was it?
I thought you had work.
Oh, James Hunt. James Hunt. Well, he said he met his nephew, and that they were going to go have beers next week. So I thought that was kind of interesting. You know what kind of stories he must have about James Hunt? Because James Hunt was kind of a stud. I don't know if Mike Hunt is his brother, but I don't know. Yes, he said that. Oh, my service is terrible driving through the desert, says Rusty King. Rusty King had problems a little bit there at Spokane, it looks like. Can't wait to see him get some luck a little bit. So we're waiting for Storer to call us. He was supposed to call at 7. But we'll see. Hopefully he'll remember. If not, we got ES7 going to be calling us in at 7:15, so we'll get a chance to talk to him. Yeah, good stuff for racing. I'm excited about the quarter midget deal.
I would be too.
Yeah, big shout out to Dale Schroeder for tuning into the show too. Schroeder Motorsports, his son the Blingmeister. Oh yeah, baby. Max Schroeder. He's an up and comer. He is an up and comer. He's running the other. He's running the other late model series. So let's see here. Oh, this is him. Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. He finished 4th at Spokane. He is probably one of the most underrated drivers in the UAS, in my personal opinion. His name is Jared Storer. Jared Storer, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Terry. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for being on. So, how'd it go? Tell me what happened. You were running your CR250. How was Spokane?
It was honestly, it was a battle most of the day. We dealt with some gear shifter issues in the first heat and through practice, and then we got that dealt with. And second heat didn't go too bad, and we just didn't have the best prep program going for the track, so we got what we could out of it, and the main event turned around for us somewhat.
So a fourth is a salvage, is what you're saying.
To us it was. I mean, we really did want to be a top 3 kart. It was just that top 3. It was a tough class to hang with there. So we're a bit underpowered, but we hung in there and did what we could.
Well, let's name the top 3: Eric Stansberry, Ronnie Cox, and Tim Lawrence. Does that get any tougher? I don't think it does.
It's a pretty tough group. The Northwest, the UAS up here has really come a far way. I won't lie. It's impressive.
It is impressive. We've got some wheels up here. But I would say, Jared, I mean, looking at your performances and stuff, I mean, honestly, if I look at that, I say, you know what kills you is just you don't get enough seat time.
I mean, we try and make what we can.
I know you do. I know you do. But, I mean, that's when you really look at it, that seems like to me that's what you just don't get enough seat time with your job and with your dad working and everything. You just don't get enough seat time.
Yeah. I mean, racing at one point, we could get out there a lot more and do a lot more with it, but just, kind of the way life's graduated on, it's billowed out a little bit. But we do make what we can and everything. We like the big shows and everything. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to start making some more events, though. It would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be really cool. Because you know what, man? You have the skills to get up there. I mean, were you now I want to say, were you part of that? Did you do some sort of driving training or course that you graduated from or something?
I was a part of the Ron Sutton Winter Circle.
Oh, okay,
based
that's
out
what it
of
was. Yeah.
Sacramento, California.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. I learned a lot through that. Got to meet a lot of cool people and drive some cool stuff. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and one jackass screws it up for everybody.
That's kind of how that one went down.
Yeah.
I wish the program would have kept going. It was really cool, learning from Ron and stuff and all the guys that he brought in. But it's kind of just how things went and ways got separated. Right.
Now, now I know you ran down. Were you running the midgets while you did that? The Ford Focus stuff that they had?
Yeah, they're the Focus Midget series. It kind of bounced around from Sacramento to Stockton, and I think down into some Southern California stuff too.
Now, did you ever run against Keegan Walmer?
I didn't run against Keegan. I was his teammate though. We were both in the program and met a couple times.
How about Molly Helmuth? Was she in it too when you were there?
Yeah, actually, Molly was one of the drivers that I qualified in with, basically in my class, I'd say, I guess.
Mm-hmm. She's not bad.
No, Molly's a good driver, and she's come a far way too.
Yeah,
she did well in that program, and her late model racing too. That's cool to watch, also.
Right. So now, if your job and life would allow it, are you game for? Would you like to get one of those Ford Focus midget cars, or would you like to do a late model thing, or?
If I had my choice, I'd probably go late model route. It'd be a close call between late model or sprint car, because I do love the dirt, but the late model deal would be cool to try out. I've always liked that asphalt oval and just the style of that.
Yeah.
20, 30 cars out there.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty fun experience.
Me too. But I'm going to tell you, nothing looks sweeter than a midget or a sprint car for the pavement. With those big, nasty, wide tires on there, those huge slicks. They just look wicked.
Oh, yeah, and they're still getting sideways on the asphalt, too, which is just what's cool. Just all the power and the lightweight. It goes together really well.
Dude, that is just sick. I love it. So what's your plans for the rest of 2017? Are you're looking to hopefully make some more UAS shows?
We're wanting to make that Meridian event mid-July. That'd be a cool one. And then might try and make some stuff in between there. But the next big one after that would be the Betty Boop.
Yeah,
that's one we're really after. I like running that event quite a bit, and it brings in a great show every time. It does. We'll definitely be there for that one.
And you're pretty solid. You're pretty solid at ORV when you can get some laps, right?
Yeah, when luck's kind of going more our way, and it's not going too bad, we do pretty decent at ORV.
Yeah, for sure you do. Well, man, dude, you do decent everywhere. it's just, like I said, it'd be nice for you to have a one whole year where you could really focus on your program and get after it. But, your dad, I mean, how big of this deal is your dad? I mean, he does quite a bit of work on the car too, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's pretty much, the wrench guy, the crew guy. I kind of just do the driving, but he takes care of basically most of the program. He's really good with tires and everything and calling the right shots when we need it done. He's a good tuner and he's pretty much all around just a good, guy for it.
Are we giving Mike Storer a shout out? Are we, Jared?
I'd say we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I owe a lot to him with all of it. He's kept me in line with a lot of it too. He's taught me a lot in everything with it. So yeah, I couldn't thank him more for, what he's done for me in racing and getting me into it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, you're an asset wherever you go. I mean, I'm always happy when your name's on the list because you just know it's going to be exciting when you're in there. I mean, it's awesome. You do a good job. You've got the skills. Man, I mean, how about that? 11 or 12 UAS at Spokane? I mean, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a good group that showed up. I was happy to see who made the trip over and everything.
Right.
I was a little bit worried that, not too many were going to show after how the May event went.
Yes.
But who showed, that was cool to see that. I was happy with that.
That's really cool. And that's just supporting the sport right there.
Mm-hmm, for sure, definitely.
Okay, let me ask you, was Stansbury that good?
They were fast. That whole top three bunch, they were really on it. And I mean, the way the start of that main event went, it was kind of, some attrition with all of it, just how the starts were going.
Mm-hmm.
But that top three bunch, they were definitely in a league of their own at the end of that.
Wow. Man, Jared Storer said they were in a league of their own. That's admitting some stuff right there.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes you hate to say that too.
Yeah,
I want to be in that league.
Right. He's in that league. He just,
we're trying to get there.
You'll get there.
We always got more work to do and stuff. We're back into the shop now and checking things over and seeing what we can do to pick up some tents, and hopefully we can do that and be up there with them.
Well, yeah. A question I got then is you said your prep wasn't to your liking for that, so now you know what to do when you go back?
Yeah. Or for that, track condition, how it cooled down and everything, and the bike came to it. We kind of got more of a grasp now on the prep we'd go with next time.
I'm telling you, just watching this stuff, and I'm from the bigger cars, so I've just gotten in with the carts and stuff, but watching this prep, it's a whole science of its own in every direction.
It really is. I mean, the process you got to take prepping for the race for it, you got to time yourself out with all of it and everything. It's just, and then, there's so many different preps and entire compounds to go with that. I mean, it's just when you can hit it right, then that's really the big game changer nowadays is tires and prep. Stay on top of that, and you can go pretty far.
Maybe I'll just stay with my G60s on the modified.
Well, let me ask you. So, do you think if there were no prep, would the results be the same? Would that top three have been where they were? Do you think?
I mean, it's tough to say. We've been trying a different tire theory this year, kind of we went back to Burris, and we aren't running too much prep. So I think, if there was no prep, I mean, it could have changed it up a bit, how the power, handles with the cart and stuff.
Right.
But I still think, who was up in the front would have, been there at the end of it still.
Right.
It's just kind of the cream rises to the top is how it goes throughout these events. And if you can make it through the whole thing to the end, then you're usually going to be up there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the BK. You don't necessarily have to be the quickest guy. I mean, it's nice to be the fast guy, but man, if you can just make it to the end, you've got a shot.
Mm-hmm. The BK, that's one that I'm really needing to get off my back to. I'm still yet to even make it through the heats, so we'll get that one one of these years though.
Yeah, that's good. 10's going to be epic. I think 10 is going to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, especially with how last year was. I wasn't in it, but getting to just watch that event, it was pretty sweet.
I know, it was amazing, wasn't it? Just the engine choices, like Yao comes in with the smaller motor, but yet he was, and that was what did they give him? That was an 80-pound weight brake. I mean, that's a 350. Yeah, it's 80 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
It really is, and power to weight's everything. So if you can, lower weight down and still have a similar power, then you can go with it. So
are you going to show up with a 150 next year? I'm just kidding.
You never know. I do like the 2-strokes, so I mean that is a good way to go.
Right.
But
Are you happy with your CR250?
it's yeah, I'm happy with it. I still feel, we got some more power we can get out of it. I felt like we were a little underpowered at the last event. So we might, do some tuning changes and see if we can pick it up a bit. But for overall running ability and everything, it did really well. I was happy with it.
So where's your next event? So Meridian's probably going to be your next one, right?
That's what we're thinking. We're doing a full season at Sunset too. I'm running their senior clone and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I like to go hot lap the open and stuff there. So we'll keep running there. But we may try and make the July 1st race. We're not fully sure yet. But because that'd be a cool one to do too. I believe that's another UAS event. So,
dude, awesome. Well, man, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I mean, I'm one of your biggest fans. I always have been. I've always been. I've always thought you've got it. You take the losses. Sometimes they're a little hard to swallow, but man, you always step up. You're always a class act, and I've always appreciated that about you.
I appreciate that.
No, it's huge. I'm just telling you, you always do a nice job, and even when the going is a little rough, sometimes we need to keep your dad in check, but that's all right. That's
I've just found, if you keep your head up and you look, there's always another time. You can always better yourself. So
right.
If you can do that, then you can come out on top in the next event.
Well, you keep your head up. You're always looking forward.
That's
Yep,
it.
exactly.
That's for sure. Well, Jared, man, I appreciate. I mean, like I told you in your text, you're doing me as big a favor as I'm doing you. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show. And as always, it's super good talking to you, bro.
I appreciate you having me too. It was cool being on.
Yeah, man.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Team 31 too.
Oh yeah,
they've been big for us. The last couple years. Kevin let me drive his stuff and whatnot. That was a blast.
Yeah,
and I'd always drive for Kevin any day too. So
yeah,
I'd like to give them a shout out.
He's a giver. He's a big.
He is. Kevin's an awesome guy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't give him that credit, but he is a super good dude. Well, Jared, man, I'm gonna get you on my other show where we have an hour and we can just BS. It's called In the Groove. So I'll be in touch with you. We'll set that up so we can get that going, and you and I'll just chit chat. Me even get the loader in here, and we'll just chit chat for an hour.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, man. Thanks for calling.
Cool. Yep. Thanks for having me on, Terry.
Hey, you bet, Jared. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Your favorite drivers and people of interest in the motorsports world. It's time for In the Seat, powered by Blue Line Graphics. Oh, we got our next guest right here. He wins Spokane, and he's also the defending national Unlimited All-Star champion. His name is ES7, Eric Stansberry. What is going on, man?
Not a whole lot, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm just so excited to talk to you. It's been like forever.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I've been a little busy.
Well, you need to stop stop being so damn busy.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Are you in your new house?
No, I just got off an excavator to give you a buzz. I'm working on the crawl space right now.
So off an excavator, are you trying to be the loader?
What's that?
Are you trying to be the loader? Because that's what Jeff does. He works on an excavator all day.
Well, I work on a front end.
Yeah,
loader.
well, I was a plumber today, and then when I get off work, I come out to the property and I get to jump on my excavator and play.
Wow, that's awesome. Is it funner than a go-kart?
It is not as much fun as a go-kart. I will have to tell you that.
So, man, Spokane, I watched the film, dude. You looked dialed.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. This kart felt really good. So,
yeah,
I felt pretty good. I know the heats. We didn't get any practice on Friday, so it's we were kind of shooting from the hip on gearing, and yeah, so we had practice. Felt pretty good speed in the kart. Wasn't real sure on tires what we were gonna do there.
Were you on Hoosiers? Were you on Hoosiers?
I was not. No. I would love for him to send me a set so I can try them. I'm a Vega Maxis guy, man.
Well, yeah. I wore my Vega hat, too, here last weekend. That was kind of cool. Well, maybe
nice. I don't get anything for free. I'm trying to figure that out still.
We got to be a broadcaster. That's how you do it. That's the secret.
Yeah. Right?
No, dude, I'm just so stoked to talk to you, man. I'm just so the defending champ, what's your plans for the rest of the year? I mean, I know you're busy with life and everything, but what are your plans?
Yeah, my plan is to race as many races as I possibly can. I think we were thinking about going over to Meridian, run with the Idaho boys again. We have friends over there, so we were going to run over there and check that out. Those Idaho UAS guys are real cool. I mean, they're pretty cool people, good racers, and so we're thinking about checking that out. And we're going to try and run as much as ORV as we can this year, and kind of follow the Northwest Series around. And if we can get down to California to cause trouble with Diotti, we're going to try and do that too.
Yeah, man.
Just don't go fishing with him, man.
Yeah, I know that guy's lights out, man.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I know, right? That's awesome. Well, you know what we should all do is in August. I think the first week in August there is a. I think the Dwarf Car Nationals are at Medford. We should all go down there and raise hell with Diotti and go cheer him on. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, so how was Spokane in your opinion?
Well, I thought it was awesome. I mean, it was really cool to see going to a go-kart track and to see people working a go-kart track, and from the people checking you in to the people working the track, amazing people. And you can tell they're I think they're 5 races in, maybe prepping that track or something, 2, 3, 4, 5 races, something, learning how to prep that track, right? And so they're still getting the hang of it, and they were really concerned. They wanted to make sure they had a really good racetrack for us. And I think that was probably the coolest thing from the weekend was like, these people love go-kart racing and they just want to see more go-kart racers there. And they're not trying to fatten a pocketbook. I mean, they love go-kart racing. They just want to see more people racing go-karts. And it was really cool to see how hard they worked and how important it was to them that we had a really good racetrack. So, I mean, that was the coolest part of the weekend. Me and Jan left, and we're driving home on Sunday, and it was like, man, that was so cool. I mean, how many tracks do you go to where they keep coming up to you? Hey, we're doing this, we're trying this, we're working on this. What do you think about? I mean, just asking your opinion, letting you know what's going on, filling you in, and they, obviously they wanted to put on a really good show, right? And sometimes time is of the essence of trying to get a show done early. We'd all traveled there. We were all staying the night. I mean, so they did what they thought was right, and the show, it got done pretty late at night, and I don't think they realized that the electricity, was going to go out and we were going to lose lights for an hour or two. But they worked their butts off to make sure we had a really good racetrack, and that was huge. I thought that was a really, really big statement.
Wow. What an awesome, refreshing answer that is. What do you think, Loader? I mean, isn't that...
Yeah, most, and I do. I applaud you on looking at the positives of it, because some people probably thinking, God, why is it so late? Why is this? Why is that? And, like you said, if they're only 2 or 3 races into learning this, 2 thumbs up,
Yeah, for real. For real, man. That's awesome to hear. And, here's the cool thing, ES7, is there was almost 12 UAS carts there. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but that's huge.
Yeah, and it wasn't just 12 UAS carts. It was 12 fast UAS carts.
Damn straight.
I mean, it's not, there's no slouches here, which is really cool. I mean, there's fast people, and there's people that have been racing 6 months, and they're still kind of complaining because they're not fast enough, and they're fast. I mean, after racing 6 months or a year or 2 years, they're really fast. They're getting the hang of this thing, and they're putting their, they're doing their homework. They're doing it right, and we got a really cool bunch to race with here, because people are into it.
It is. It's awesome to see. And I got on the American Muscle Cart page too, right? And I was just excited to see all the different regions posting their wins. I mean, I just think it was the whole thing was just exciting to me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We'll take it. We'll take it. So
absolutely.
So you're going to be at the Boop, right? And you're going to be running as much ORV as you can. Are you going to the Nationals?
Yeah, we'll be going down. I mean, that's our plan. I mean, things can always change, right? But
right.
I mean, that's kind of our plan. Obviously, we want to go down there. It's on the West Coast. It's in Arizona. Those people that run that track down there in Arizona, they're awesome. They're great
awesome.
people.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and so we want to go down there and support that. I mean, we like going to the Holiday Classic. Sometimes it's just really hard. It's so close to Christmas and traveling and all that stuff. We can't always do that. But, I mean, it's the Nationals. It's this side of the Mississippi. And, you kind of have to go if you're a UAS racer, You don't have much. You don't have any excuses.
Well, especially if you're the defending champ.
yeah, that's also part of it.
Yeah. Well, so right as of today, you are planning on defending your title.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it. I'm there. I'm going to search for tickets this next week. I am. I'm there, dude. I went to the Classic, and I'm telling you, it was like, who misses this? This was like incredible.
When we first started racing, that was Jason Gibb told us that when we first started go-kart racing, he was like, if you want to hit any awesome race, you got to go to the Holiday Classic, and that was back. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
and it's always been, that event has always been like, oh man, you have to, if you want to go to a cool race, you have to go to that race. So it's still that way, Mm-hmm. If you haven't been, you have to go.
Can you defend it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can. There's fast guys, so you got to have a lot of luck on your side. I mean, you have to have a lot of luck to win that thing. And I had a lot of luck to win that thing, right? Everything goes right. You don't have, you don't get wrecked. Car holds together, so you don't have any failures. I mean, you have to have a lot of luck. And I can honestly say, yeah, I think I can defend it. However, I can honestly say that there's a lot of other people that can beat me. I mean, it's just any given day.
Right.
So we run a really cool series where we just have fast people, and that's what makes it fun. That's why you want to go to the racetrack. It's not because you're going to go and get a win. You just don't know.
Yeah, and a win means everything to me in this division. Because I mean, you win here, and you've beat some studs. Yeah,
you beat people that spend a lot of nights working in the shop on their go-karts, putting a lot of time, a lot of effort into going fast and figuring out how to go fast. So when you beat these people, I mean, it's a big deal. It's not just, oh yeah, well that was another fun little race. It's like, no, you beat people that are working equally as hard as you.
Mm-hmm.
So it means something.
That's it. That's a fact. That's a fact. So Diotti, if you're listening, Stansberry's coming for you. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna stir the pot. I promise. I'm not gonna. Well, hey man. So when's your next event? What are you planning? What are you gonna hit next?
Oh, I think we have a race up at ORV June 1st or July 1st. I think that's what it is.
Sweet. So
we'll be there.
I think I'm scheduled to be on there too, so I'll be excited to see everybody and
awesome.
Call that bad boy. So that's going to be sweet. Well, Eric,
we missed you in Spokane.
Dude, I'm telling you weren't the only one. I was like, wow. But I know you're on your excavator. I just want to say, dude, it's always an honor to have you on my show. Your friendship's an honor. Just everything, dude. I just can't say enough good about ES7. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate being able to be on the show.
You're the man, dude. Are you going to get some T-shirts made or what?
Yeah, I keep thinking about that, but I want to get some T-shirts and some hats made and stuff. I'm just afraid if anyone will wear them or not. I don't want to waste my time or money.
Dude, well, you know what? And it's going to go back to what you said. You're going to have to give up some free ones, but
I'm sure they'd all be free. It just cost me a little money, but might be okay. Someone can use them for a rag or something around the shop, you know?
No way, man. It isn't like that at all. I'd wear them, man. A cool ES7 T-shirt. Maybe we should have an ES7 T-shirt design contest on the show. That would be kind of cool.
There you go. Let's print them off.
Okay, so the winner, and then you'll use this design, right?
There you go.
All right. Get on it. Dude, you heard it. ES7 says design him an ES7 T-shirt. Watch out, because Whitey will design a cool one. He's got some. Yeah, man. Well, hey, get back on that excavator. Thanks for taking the time to be on the show, and we'll be in touch, my man.
All right. You guys have a good night. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you bet, Eric. It was an honor, man. Thank you.
Take care, man.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Dude, is he cool or what?
Oh, man.
I mean, that's the beauty. The whole clan is, you know, Jeff, before we go into your segment, our last segment here, which is going to be cool, it's going to be on scales and how you should treat them. But, you know, that's one of the coolest things about the sport are, I mean, I can't even tell you how blessed I am. If it were to have to end tomorrow, the friendships I've made, the people I've met, some of the neatest people ever on the planet, you know what I mean? It's all about the people at the end of the day.
It is in all the motorsports, to me anyway.
It is. Yeah, that's my Facebook deal. Sorry, you're right. It isn't.
You know, and like I said earlier, you know, I'm not that kart oriented. I'm getting there, but you know, and I'm more into the big car
Yeah,
stuff.
but you're getting it.
It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on there. It's the friendships you make which continue on. You know, I had guys texting me from down south. What was going on? I'm like, Shank, who's winning the race? You know, they were just curious because they all knew that those guys had taken off and come up. What are they doing? You know, that's stuff like that just makes it all worthwhile.
It does. It does. Hey, don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be back. The Loader's got a cool segment on scales, how you should be treating them. So hang tough. Racing. It's preparation. It's focus. It's attention to detail. And when you try to take shortcuts, it shows. At Speed City, Southern Oregon's karting headquarters, distributor for Ultramax, Legend, QRC, Bell helmets, and K1 race gear, they don't roll like that. Speed City is committed to roll the way champions roll by keeping racers on track with knowledge, integrity, and performance. No shortcuts, no negativity, no other motives. You don't just have their word on it, you've got their name on it. So get back to having fun and get to calling Speed City. Speed City, LLC, keeping racers on track with quality service and friendship. 541-531-1222. The three most expensive things you'll do in your life are buy a house, educate your kids, and go racing. What you don't need is another expense, and that's why you take your car and tow rigs to TruTech Automotive to ensure that they are maintained and repaired the right way with the right parts at the right price. And how's this for right? Extended to all racers is the In the Family 25% discount off of all preventative maintenance and repair labor. All you have to do is use the discount code NWRR to save. Now that's right. Get it done the right way, the TruTech way. TruTech Automotive, 6900 Northeast Highway 99, Hazeldale, Washington. 360-571-2302. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We got it hooked up on Facebook Live, so if you're wanting to tune in, there we go. We got some hits. Oh.
You can see the orange pumpkin sitting here.
There we go, the Loader. What's going on, everybody? Go ahead.
I got a couple comments in here. Was Rusty King made a comment that the hot dog's worth the price of the airplane ticket. Now, I haven't had the hot dogs yet, but do I need to buy the ticket to go have some?
Yes. They are without question the best hot dogs you will ever eat.
And then Kevin Bridges said that Eric and Jan make their own luck. They are the real deal any day. That's coming from one of your competitors. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Well, you know, Kevin Bridges works hard too, right? I mean, his dad was out in the shop machine and stuff, and they're spraying. I'm just wondering, how come that ain't beating Stansbury?
Oh my God. That was when he showed me.
You should have turned the spray on, Bridges.
When he showed me that down at the BK, I'm going, really? For this little track? Oh yeah, wait till I get it working.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
That's one thing cool about the class. I mean, it's innovation.
Yeah, and and how about Jared Storer, right? I mean, what a great kid, right? I mean, just seems so professional and so down to earth and just real. I mean,
and just listening to him, you can tell that that competitiveness.
Oh, it's there.
It's right
it's
there.
It's there. And his dad is the same way, Mike. I mean, they love the sport, and that's at the end of the day, you just can't beat that.
No, I mean that's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about. It's Wes Gibbs. Thank you for the great compliment, man. That's awesome. That's super awesome. We love hearing that, and that's what we try to do. But I gotta get my other laptop because I don't have your intro, so it kind of stinks because I like it is kind of cool. It kind of grows on you after you don't hear it. But we're gonna get into what are we gonna get into?
It's called Scale Sense. How to treat your scales. Yeah, I've seen this little article here the other day, and it I kind of thought back to last year, and it was at Grays Harbor at the Modified Nationals, and I watched a guy with his scales on the rocks. They didn't have no boards underneath it, and he keeps dropping his car on them. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what are you doing,
His scales?
Yeah, he's just dropping his car on the scales, and they'd look at the numbers, he'd jack it up, then he'd drop it again, and it's just like, you're not even level, so this article kind of hit me when I seen it, and a lot of it is, the scales are tough, but there's comes to a point where you got to take care of them.
Well, you said you saw a guy dragging the scales around with a cord?
Yeah.
That's the surest way to screw something up.
And that's just many times, within the times that I've seen this stuff. But, like I say, they're tough, but they're not that tough. So one of the outfit had kind of gives about, I think there's 10 deals here. And it's stuff to think by. Keep them dry. Don't let them get wet. And if you're in a high humidity place, use the humidity packs. Keep the moisture out of the box where they're at. Keep them dry. That keeps the pins where the cords go in, not corrosion, because once you start corroding, then all of a sudden now you're
reading all over the place.
It's not accurate anymore. Keep the dirt away from the connector pins and the cord ends themselves. Make sure those are all clean.
So you mean you can't step on them and drive them an inch or two into the dirt and then pull them out? And
not if you want them to work. In the charging process, I know some guys that, they don't. Well, all they really do is need to put batteries in them. Keep the batteries up. Keep them charged the proper way. And make sure the batteries aren't corroding. Change them. It's like a deal with a flashlight. How many people have ever thought about changing the flashlight battery before it dies?
Mm-hmm.
It's still got some light. We'll shake it a little bit.
Right.
And then it goes out. You forget about it. You throw it over there, and the next time you open it up, it's corroded. That's the same thing with your scale head. The scale head's got a battery in it. You change it. It's there for a reason. And once it starts to die, then it becomes very inaccurate too with the scales. So.
Now, when you say the battery thing, you should change. So, it's kind of like when you leave a battery in a flashlight too long, right?
You're going to corrode. Do you want your scale head corroded? No, it's expensive. A cheap set of scales is $1,100. That's more than I got.
Right.
So, and you want to use them at full charge. That's one of the things that this guy was very adamant about.
Now, what about if you could plug them in? Is that the best way to do it?
It's acceptable. But, mostly, what they're saying with the scales is these are portable, so you may not always have that option.
Right.
So that's what, keep your batteries charged, and then the plug-in part of it, that's just full power. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Pest control. A lot of people don't think about this. But if you got say you're storing them in an open deal, oh, wow, that's a warm spot. Well, there's a mouse in there. And the next thing you know, the mouse is chewing on the cord. The next thing you got no working scales. Keep the critters away.
Keep them in the boxes that you got them in.
Should be. A lot of people, I've noticed this at 2 or 3 different places that I've went to. I mean, the scales that we have that we use are in a box.
Right.
Put a nice latch on it. You do it all. It's
got the foam padding inside and everything.
And everything stays, and it's good. I've seen people, they take them out of the boxes and then they put them into stack carts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at them. Well, the scale head's up here and the cables are on the floor. It seems like if you put it back to the original package, you're better off.
Right. Or a nice wooden box with some good, firm foam in there.
Take care of them. Safe handling. This is one that gets me, and like I said, I seen it the other day. Guy grabbed it by the cord and pulled the scale out from underneath the car. Insane. For the amount of money you pay for these things, you start pulling on that plug. I mean, you reach down, you grab the plug at the source. Hold on to the scale. Pull it. Don't jerk on it. Don't do nothing. Just pull it out.
Yeah. This isn't an extension cord.
No, exactly. That was what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and then once you start that, if you start the process the right way, you won't do it the wrong way to where you hurt them. That's what I've always learned.
Mm-hmm.
Always, treat them how you want to take care of them,
Well, I think the biggest thing you said was, too, after you spend $1,100 once, you spend $1,100 twice or half of that probably to get the stuff is not something you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. The cords.
Mm-hmm.
Don't kink the cords. Don't run over the cords with your jack. Don't set the car down onto the cords.
And then jerk on the cord to try to get it from underneath the tire. Good night, Irene.
It's just that one's a common sense deal. But if you're going to yard that thing out by the cord, are you going to not yard it if it's underneath the tire?
Well, Sean Carr says, "Will you make teriyaki of the critters?"
I like that.
Sean Carr. What are we going to do with that guy?
I don't know, but I like him.
I do too.
And then back to another one that I was just talking about. Don't drop the car on the scales. If you're in the shop, you've got a nice level ground. Your scales are sitting where they're supposed to be. Every time you shock them, things like that, it's no good. They're not designed for that.
You know what I'm going to do? And you just reminded me. We'll have to get to follow up on it. We'll get Shane Biles, who used to work for Longacre.
Oh, he did?
He did. And he knows all about this. So we'll have to get him on to follow up with this. But continue on.
Because at that point in time, you start dropping it. Then the load cells in there, they're just going to take a beating.
Right.
Like I said, they're strong, but they're not that strong. Back to the number 8 was the case. They came in a case. Put them in the case. Keep them in that case because they didn't send you junk. They're nice. They stand vertically. They sit down in there. They're tight. They don't rattle around. Say you're going to go, I'm going to go over to my buddy's house and scale. You would rather put it in the back of the pickup with a box than throw 4 scale pads in the back of the truck and let them rattle around.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then every time you use your scales, when you're scaling, before the car hits there, make sure they're zeroed. The biggest thing I've seen guys do too is not make sure they're zeroed. Well, I plug them in, they're good.
Right.
So to punching the little 0 button, we'll just set her down. Well, you may have been good. You may not. So, how critical you're wanting to be, you need, these scales will put you to the gnat's ass if you want to do that.
That's right.
If you're not wanting to, and you want to spend $1,100, you could have used the bathroom scale at that point in time.
Right. Right.
But
did they have anything on like how you should care for cleaning them, or is there anything you shouldn't use? Or
they didn't really talk about that, but basically at a point where it's just keep them clean.
Mm-hmm.
So like we'll take an air hose, we make sure that stuff's
right, and you don't have to blow it at full pressure, right,
just,
and break stuff inside there. You just
and we keep that port. It's like when it's time to scale, the car's up in the air. We sweep the floor. We make sure there's nothing underneath of them, and you pretty much you flip them through there. You make sure that everything's
hunky-dory,
as clean as you can put it in a shop.
Right.
So that's pretty much it.
Man, those are some great tips on how to keep your scales good. Now, again, Jeff said this earlier before the show. He said, a lot of this you guys have probably already heard, but we get busy, we get complacent, we're in a hurry, things aren't going right. Man, the thing's not coming in. I mean, how many times have you chased your tail on the scales, right? You're around and around, and you're like, my God, come on. But that's when you got to tell yourself, hey, these are my $1,100 scales. I need to still take the time to pull, not on the wire, but from the actual plug itself.
Chase your tail, and if you're really chasing your tail, go back and look and make sure you got them in the right slots. Mm-hmm. We had a friend of ours call us one day and says, man, I can't get my car in, and da-da-da. And we're
so now. Does it matter? Are they when they come 1, 2, 3, 4? You get that pack. Are they labeled left front, right front? Does it matter?
Your cords are what that is. The
so
scale, the mini pad can go anywhere.
Okay,
but he was.
But again, you should probably use the left rear on the left rear every time, right?
It does help, yes.
Okay,
but he was having an issue, and so we went over there and we're scratching our head and finally looked down and got the right rears plugged into the left rear. So,
oh boy,
yeah, it wasn't coming out
right,
and it was, it's a simple mistake that can be made. That's the reason that when we're scaling a car, we check each other.
Are your cords labeled?
Yeah,
okay.
That's where your cords are labeled. That's where you go to with them. But still, you can.
It's easy to do, right?
It's easy to do, especially your mind at that point in time. You're thinking of your setup. It basically, I'll get my pads down, and you're still thinking about what you got going on. Okay, if I want to try this shock, I want to do this, why we got it, because like a lot of times with Chris and I, we'll set up multiple shocks at one time. So we've got the car on the scales, so we'll set up springs and shocks, a whole variety of, so we know where they're at and what's going to happen when it all gets said and done.
I was going to say, he's right in the sun. If you guys can see on Facebook, I offered him some shades, but his future isn't that bright, I guess, now, so he's not.
But, and that's just it. That's where two people that have worked together like Chris and I have for the length of time we have it's really good because we read each other's mind, and we know what to follow up with each other, and that's what I like.
Is that better? I think it's because I started it straight up. Oh, wait.
Oh, have I been sideways this whole time?
Yeah, it says nice video. Tim Chase says nice video or nice studio. Hey, what's up, Tim Chase? But your video's coming in sideways. Chase. Let's see, where are you at, Loader? There you are. So I'm going to have to hold it for the next little bit. Bingo, there it is, he says.
Oh.
I'm going to get, hey, Chase, here's what I need. I need a bracket, because you're good at this from the goldfish thing. I've seen your cheater straws that you build. Did you notice that? Did you know? You didn't know. They used to have the goldfish races every year at the BK. Chase comes down with this custom-built straw that he built just to blow the fish, because that's what you do. I want him to build me a holder for my top of my screen so I can put it maybe like that or something, so we can get everybody in. Or I'll just start it sideways. I guess that's what you're supposed to do. But there it is. That's what you're watching tonight. But I'll get the Loader in there. He's better in the sun than I am. He doesn't know what to say to that.
I'm lost.
He's lost for words.
That's something new.
Good thing we only got 5 minutes left. But hey, I want to tell you guys next week, if you can make it, come down to, where's my card here? It is Stimpy's Bar and Grill. All right. Thanks for the compliment too, by the way, Chase, on the nice studio. A guy by the name of Steve Siller. Jeff and I met him at the PGP, and he is the owner-operator of Stimpy's. I'm going to get a picture of that here if you guys can see that. Stimpy's. And we're going to be Stimpy's Bar and Grill. You know who our guests are going to be? Renee Angel and Robbie Yao. They're both going to be live in the studio, and we're going to go for 2 hours next week. And we're going to let you guys, we're going to open it up, so you guys better come with questions, because I know you have them, on tires for Robbie Yao. Arguably one of the best tire guys in the country, and his dad is who everybody goes to. But he'll be here to answer any and all your questions on tires. Renee's probably not liking that, but nonetheless, he'll be here to answer some questions, and it's just going to be a cool time. So if you can make it live, we'd love to. It'd be cool if we had a big turnout at Stimpy's Bar and Grill. It's 25606 Pacific Highway South. I put a post on the page already. That's in Kent, Washington. So Kevin Bridges, you have no excuse to not be there because you live in Kent. But you can go to stimpysbarngrill.com, check out the page. I guess it's pretty cool. Renee says it's like the Keg and Q up by Monroe, so it's kind of got a nice homey feel to it. But we're going to be there live next Wednesday with Robbie Yao and Renee Angel. How cool is that going to be? We're going to be learning tires for 2 hours.
It'd be really cool if I know I could be there.
Yeah, but for sure, that's what's going to be happening. We'll be on 6:30 to 8:30, 2-hour show on next Wednesday, live from Stimpy's. Love to see you there. I haven't had their food, but I'm sure that it's pretty good. I know Steve Siller was awesome. He was so excited to hear that we were going to want to do a show there, and I'm just stoked.
He was really funny that day. He wasn't going to race.
He wasn't going to race.
They talked him into racing, and he had the blast. He's going, I'm hooked.
He is hooked. I said, are you still having fun? You know what his answer was? Well, I can't say the word he said, but it started with an F, and he said, yes, yeah, I am. So that was really cool. And he's running a 206, and he's just having a great time. And that's what we wanna do is just bring you fun and positive people and have a good time. So Stimpy's Bar and Grill next week, live in the studio. Renee Angel, Robbie Yao. You get to learn tires for 2 hours. So come with your notebooks, come with your questions. If we got enough people in the audience, we might just open it up. I'll put another mic out there, and you guys can come up and state your name and where you're from and introduce yourself to Robbie Yao if you haven't met him. And it's just a cool time to talk to one of the sport's greatest wheelmen there is, Robbie Yao. Pretty cool. Next week, Stimpy's Bar and Grill, Kent, Washington. I hope you guys pack the place. I just think it would be super cool. And plus, here's the cool thing. There's beer there. It's a bar and grill. So, beer, Northwest Race Report, food. Yeah. Robbie Yao, Renee Angel. I don't know. It doesn't get much better than that, I don't think. So I hope you guys can make it. It's in Kent. It's going to be a cool time. We're going to be getting some of the 206 East and West drivers on the show. Coming up, we're going to get Brent McCullough, and we're going to get Billy Weber on the show as well. So I got to contact them and get them scheduled. So we got a lot of great guests coming up on the next few weeks as we roll into officially summer, as our weather gets good. And then look for a change in our studio, because as the weather gets warmer, we're going to migrate outside. So Jeff doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna have to grab him. We're gonna move this whole studio outside. No, we're not. But we'll be outside where it's a little bit cooler, because up here, boy, it gets pretty warm those 90-degree days up here.
Toasty. Yeah, and I got I got a young lady I'd like to get on here one of these nights. Her name's Tiana Berkeley.
Perfect.
She's a second year in a modified, and last weekend was she was fantastic. She had her best ever finish in the heat race. She finished third against a heavy hitter. I mean, she was in all heavy hitter. She just walked away. She was third place by herself. She had the main. She was up to about sixth in the main and had a guy spin in front of her, and she ended up in the back of the pack to come back forward, and she still finished 11th. And she's a good kid, and I just like to get her on here and let you get introduced to her, because she's
That's
up
awesome.
and coming.
That's awesome. That's what we want to do. We want to get exposure to everybody we can. And Ronnie says, well, never heard of Stimpy's. Well, you should. It's right on Pacific Highway South. It's right across from Renee's oil change place where she gets her toter home serviced at. So that'll be perfect timing for her. And then Ronnie Cox says, yeah, it'll be awesome. That's only if Yao is still in one piece after Tuesday. Oh, I'm not sure what that comment means, but we'll see. Probably when he flies in, I guess. But
that and I gotta, when I come back to being able to do the segments, I want you guys to think about this. How many people think NASCAR is blowing smoke? I'm just gonna
leave it at that.
It's a kind of an interesting piece.
How many people think NASCAR is blowing smoke? Okay. We can make a positive spin on it. We're going to. But in the meantime,
it's positive.
Get your thoughts ready to go. Man, it's that time already. Can you guys see that? See High Performance? There it is, the banner up in the studio. And yeah, we're excited to be here. Hey, I want to thank everybody. What's Tuesday? Yeah, that's my question. Strebby Speedway this weekend. It's the prelude to the Firecracker 40, which, by the way, I will be there to call that. We're going to have it live. We'll Facebook it live. We'll be live on Spreaker. So looking forward to that one. That'll be on, and the 4th is on, what is the 4th on?
On a Tuesday.
God, it is. That's tough. But we'll go back to back. So we'll be at the 4th at Strebby Speedway. We'll be back here Wednesday night for the Northwest Race Report, because that's how we do it. And hopefully the loader can make it. You know what? You may have to just have a vacant seat in that loader for a day. You're a short timer. You're going to be retiring here pretty quick. You can.
Oh no, not now.
Not now?
Oh, I had. I have to have a knee replaced.
Oh, so we got another 5 years of work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for it.
Yay. But anyway, we appreciate you guys being on the show. Good to see everybody. Tim Chase, Matt Strebe. They're going to be at the tracks, indoor track at Mukilteo. You know, the indoor karting thing? That's where Yao's going to be. Are you with me? Are you here?
Now I am.
No, I am. That's where they're going to be. You read books 360? Ronnie Cox is only here
for the beer.
No. So he doesn't get... What is it, Ronnie? I'm only here... Yeah, Sean Carr says, I don't read books. I just look at the pictures.
If it wasn't for pictures, I wouldn't have made it through school.
Yeah, no kidding. Me either. 6:30-ish. So Tuesday night. Hey, love you too, Brian Williamson. Thanks a lot, man. We're going to get out of here too. So that's it. We're going to wrap this thing up. Next week, Stimpy's Bar and Grill. Steve Siller, the owner-operator. Check it out on our page, Northwest Race Report on Facebook. I'll post something up on terrybridgesracing.com. Be sure you stop by the site. Sign up to have it delivered directly to your email. Jeff, how easy is it?
Very easy. If I can do it, anybody can.
So there you go. So please stop by the website and sign up for it. It's cool. We won't send you any junk, we promise. It'll just be when the show goes live or we make another post on the page. Blue Line Graphics. Can't do this show without Blue Line Graphics. They're the bomb. Bailey Suchich has these cool sweatshirts that BLG hooked up. I think, or at least made the artwork for it. $15. You get blue, pink, your color. Check out Jason Suchich for that. She's got some cool stickers that BLG did. $3 a piece. They're 4x4 square. Pretty cool. Northwest Super Late Model Series down in Roseburg this weekend. So lots of stuff going on. We'll be back next week from Stimpy's Bar and Grill in Kent, Washington. Can't wait for that. It's going to be cool. Yeah, the loader will be there. I can see it in his eyes right now. Look at that. Look at that. There it is. Let me see if I can get my camera there. There it is. The loader, Jeff Eden. Hey, God bless you guys. Remember, keep it real, keep it positive. And if somebody's on the bottom, Jeff, what do you got to do?
Go to the high side.
Go to the high side. Good night, everybody. We love you. We'll see you next week. Stimpy's Bar and Grill, Kent, Washington.